everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Mila, and today I'm doing my completed pages for October 2025. I'm coming in a little bit late this month, but I don't have a huge amount to share, so hopefully this one won't be too long. So the majority of my books this month are color by number, and I was working on one project at the same time. So there will be a bit of color by number this month, just so you're aware. So I'm just going to move all my books to the side and we'll get started. So as always, I'll start off with my planner. This is the Amanda Colors 2025 planner, and I did my owl page. So this one I didn't really do a lot of work on. I kind of just sat and colored one night and just played around with a few things, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It's definitely not my best work, but it was fun nonetheless. I just didn't want to have to think about what I was doing, and I really just wanted to enjoy laying the color down. So for the background on this one, I used Chen Rui acrylic markers. I bought some of those off Shein to try because I really like their alcohol markers. I really apologize. Sorry for a segue for a second. My birds are making a heap of noise today. I've got their door shut, but I still can't block the sound out enough. I'm really sorry. I'm going to look at probably moving where I film my videos soon, so hopefully it won't be so distracting, but I really apologize for it. They're really happy at the moment because it's sunny and the weather's really nice, so they're chatting to the birds outside, I think. I don't know, but they always make so much noise when I sit down to film. So anyway, yeah, so back to this. I used Chen Rui acrylic paint markers for the background, just to give a flat dark blue look to the background. Nothing exciting, no shading, no, you know, thinning with water or anything. I just went straight in with that. And then I used my I used Ohuhu markers for the tree branch and all the leaves. And I also colored in the flowers, and I was going to shade and everything, but I didn't bother. I just left it as it was and sort of just did an ombre leaf effect, and really wanted to use colors that weren't normal or natural colors that you would normally see. And I had fun with it. All I used was the Chen Rui acrylic markers for the background, my Ohuhu alcohol markers. I used a little bit of Jelly Roll pen, and I also used a gold gel glitter marker. It's not the best I've used, and it's kind of moved across the page a little bit when I've shut the book, but nothing too bad. So I might seal this one, but it's really not too bad. And the glitter markers actually worked really well. They were Enco gel pens from Kmart, and they actually worked really well. They are so cheap. It was only a few dollars for the whole packet. And this is the gel pen. So it's just a basic gold gel glitter pen, and yeah, worked really well for the stars. So that is my page for October, and I'm really looking forward to November's page because it's a Gabby Wolf page, and she's one of my favorites, so I'm really excited. I haven't started that yet, so I'm going to get stuck into that one soon. I haven't logged my stats for this month. I'm pretty slack with that because I try not to put pressure on myself for how my numbers have increased or grown. I mean, while it's good to have just to get a bit of an idea of what's happening on my channel and my Facebook and everything, I tend not to do it religiously, and I just check in from time to time to see how it's going. But I have had quite a few new followers on YouTube, so hello to all of my new friends. Thank you so much for deciding to stick around. I love that you're here with me, and hopefully you enjoy the content that I'm putting out. It's just going to be cruisy stuff. I'm not here to try and make this a business or anything. I just want to have some fun and get to make some new friends, which I have been doing, and I love it. So thank you for being so lovely. And yeah, I look forward to sharing more with you guys in the future. So that is my coloring planner for this month. And the next one I did was in Small Victories. I took this away when I went to the festival that I went to last month, and I didn't get a lot of time to sit and colour anything other than my colour by numbers, really, because I was busy with the kids and everything, just having fun and relaxing. I just did this page, so it's nothing exciting. I had to play around with my polychromos in this book, and I didn't enjoy it on this page, but this is like super thick cardstock, so I don't think that's a very good indicator of how the pencils are going to perform in this book. This is my second copy of Small Victories. I wanted one to just dedicate to these pencils, so other than that page, it's untouched at this point. But yeah, I just had fun playing around with the pencils. It's not my best work again. But yeah, I just wanted to put some colour down and just see what the colours sort of turned out like on the paper. So that was that one. It was just polychromos in that one. The next one I did is from 31 Miniatures to Colour Till Halloween by Camellia Angel Cova. I had the best intentions of setting myself a task of colouring every single page in this book as like a Halloween advent calendar, and look how well I did. If I set myself a task, I am hopeless. It's like my brain just refuses to cooperate. We think of a million other things and not the task that we're supposed to be doing. So this one was just one page, and it was the belongs to page in this book. And I did this with my Sheen watercolor paints. They're the metallic paints, and I had heaps of fun with this. I just was sitting on the couch with my babies, and we were just talking and having a laugh, and so I was playing around with these different mediums just to try it out. I did get a little bit of buckling on the paper, but I expect that from this thin Amazon paper. It's actually not too bad, because the watercolor paint, if I don't thin it down too much, it actually feels a little bit like acrylic. When it dries, it's sort of on the thick side. So even though it buckles the paper, it calms back down again after laying flat for a while. So yeah, I put that on, and then I did the same thing with the other watercolor paints that I had. I only watered them down just a little bit to activate them, and then I did splats all over the page with them. Hopefully this will show up. So it's kind of sort of shiny, sparkly, and that was all done with my Sheen metallic watercolor little tiny pans that I showed in one of my last videos. And then I used my alcohol markers to color all of this part. I think I used my Ohuhus on this one, and then I also went in with some acrylic paint pens to go around the pumpkin, around the ghost, and those types of things. I used my Posca pen for the spider web, and then I also went in with my white Prismacolor pencil to shade over the ghost to give him that sort of transparent but not quite fully transparent look. I did first of all go over him with one of the metallic watercolors, but it threw too much purple and it was difficult. It was a little bit too opaque, so I ended up going over that with a white color pencil, and it removed quite a bit of that shine. So I'm happy with how this turned out for the front page, and we'll aim for these pages for next Halloween, I think, or if I just feel like doing them at any time of the year, because while they're Halloween themed, some of them are just really cute and I would color them any time of the year anyway, but I'll see how I go. So I just did this one page from 31 Miniatures to Colour Till Halloween by Camellia Angel Cova. My next book is Merry Christmas by Hannah Carlson. Now, I wasn't planning on starting any pages in this until December, because normally I colour Christmas pages in December, but this year I am so super excited to have been involved in a community collab with a bunch of wonderful people. This was arranged through Wendy over on Jazzy Doodle Designs, and a whole bunch of us did a page or a double page spread each in this book. And it was so much fun. Wendy is just hilarious. I love her channel to bits. She is so kind and lovely. So I just couldn't resist doing this. And this was my allocated double page. I spent so long on this and I had so much fun. I was so scared to start this because I was worried if I make one mistake, I've bombed out completely. But I just took my time with it and really, really enjoyed the process. I played around with a few mediums. I used my Derwent Inktense pencils to base all of the background, except for the snow. I also used it for the trees, the sleigh, and that was it with that. And then I went over top, after I activated the Inktense, I went over the top with another layer of activated Inktense to deepen it up a little. Then I went over the top with unactivated Inktense pencils dry once the whole background was dry, just to get the depth where I wanted it and to sort of just layer up the colors a bit more and do the transition as I blended just a little bit more seamlessly. I tried a few different effects, not quite a bokeh effect here. I was trying more for sort of big snow, like big pieces of snow. They turned into huge snowballs in some points, but I don't mind. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm just running with it. Like these guys here, they're quite big, but once I had done it, I had to commit. I couldn't get the colors to blend perfectly, so yeah, I just made a few of them a little bit lighter than the background and tried to blend them in that way a little more. But overall, I'm really happy with it. Over the top of these parts here and the reindeer, I used my Prismacolor pencils to get the really vibrant colors that I was looking for. I totally winged it with my color palette. I feel like it paid off okay. I was so worried to add too many colors to the page because I often get carried away with doing that. I get started and then I think, I need this color, or my brain just tries to color things the way that they should actually be colored to look real. And I'm trying my best to stay away from that because I don't always want to color things as they really are in nature or whatever. So while this is still sticking to a Christmassy theme, in my opinion, I tried to keep the palette fairly restricted, and I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I really struggle to end up unhappy with my pages with my Prismacolors because the vibrancy that you get and the way they blend, just it makes me, as still someone who's very much a learner as still at this point, be able to enjoy my work and not get frustrated and, you know, things like that. There's definitely plenty of mistakes and things that could have been done better, but I'm really happy. For the snow, I went in with Prismacolor pencils to sort of create the bluey grey shadowing, and then I went over the top with my Posca paint pen to create the snow falling on the top of the sort of snow hills. I need to learn a little bit more on how to sort of make my snow maybe a little bit more real looking. I'm not sure if I needed more blue or grey. I can't really tell at this point. I'm happy with how it turned out, but I feel like I've seen much, much better versions of snow, and that's okay. It's still a learning process for me, and as I said, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I tried to cover up all the lines underneath with my Posca, and I feel like that pulled off okay. And I also didn't want to lose the snow into the background of the white either. But overall, this was a fantastic, beautiful book to work in, and I'm so, so grateful to Wendy and everybody that was in this collab. I can't wait to see everyone's pages put together. I'm really excited about this one because Christmas is my favorite time of the year, and at the moment I'm holding myself together pretty well, but this end of the year is really difficult. I find it really, really hard. While I absolutely adore Christmas, I lost my dad. It'll be 4 years this year, so time is definitely ticking by, but it was right in the middle of my birthday, which is on the 4th of December, and Christmas. It was smack bang in the middle on the 13th that he passed away. So December used to be my favorite month of the year. I loved it so much. Now it's kind of, you know, a little bit tainted with sadness for me. So this was just a beautiful distraction. And while there's no snow here in Australia on Christmas, it was cozy, it was fun to color even though it was November. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm super grateful for being involved in this collab, and it's not just to do a coloring page for me, it really meant a lot. So anyway, that was my page from Merry Christmas by Hannah Carlson. Now the rest of my pages are all color by number. This one was my first page that I completed out of Vitro Tome 2. This one was a group buddy color with some absolutely beautiful ladies over on Instagram, and a couple of them have also got YouTube channels. I will list all of their names up on my page and along with their handles as well, and link them below if you're interested. But we are having so much fun. These ladies are really, really lovely, and I love making new friends in this community. So there is Corey Clay, Amy from Amy Cat's Colors, Rachel from Crafting Mama Bear, Sharon from King Sharon 9 on Instagram, and Tiffany has just joined us from Tiffany Colors, and we have the best little group over there. So I will pop their pages up on the screen as well. But we all completed this Lilo and Stitch page for Halloween. I used my Guangna acrylic paint pens on this one, and Toolie acrylic pens for a couple of the spots. And I also use my Posca pen for the black areas. I apologize for the reflection. I seal all of my pages with an acrylic medium so that it doesn't scratch, because I've used paint on this and I really don't like it when it gets all scratched up. So this is how my page is looking. This was super fun. I love using my paint pens. The Guangna paint pens for these books are incredible. So I had lots of fun with that one. And as I said, I will move mine across here, and I will put the other ladies' pictures up here if I can get them to fit. And yeah, this was a really awesome page, and we've got a couple more lined up for this month, which I'm super excited about. I've already started on my ones for this month. This month should be a little bit more free for me, I hope. I did have a lot happening in October, so it kind of restricted my coloring time, which I really felt, because this is my relaxation time. It's my therapy. It really helps with my anxiety and things like that. So I enjoy those downtimes. I did have a little bit of a hiccup with this one again. I don't know if you guys remember, in a few videos ago I spoke about how when I was sealing my page I had a bit of smudging. I'm not sure what happened this time, but in my little ghosties here I've had a little bit of trouble again where I've smeared the black. I don't know if that's focused. Hold on. Just make sure that's focused, but I'm not sure how well it shows up on camera, but the black sort of smeared into the white a little bit, and that was kind of frustrating, but it didn't bother me too much. You guys were amazing last time and made me realize that I just need to chill. It doesn't matter, and sometimes it can create a slightly different effect from what I was going for, and I don't need to strive for perfection every time. So thank you guys for that too. That's something that I do appreciate, because having OCD makes it really difficult for me to try and just stop and be okay with what I've done. So I guess having that reassurance really helped to just chill out. It's only coloring after all. It's not, you know, prized art that I'm working on here. It's sometimes hard at the time to remember that, but I really appreciate those little sentiments from you guys. It means a lot. So yeah, that was Vitro Tome 2, and thank you so much to the ladies that buddied with me this month for this one. That was my first ever buddy color between this and the Christmas one. I was doing them side by side, and it was the most amazing experience. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more in the future. My next is from Petite Poupées. I love this book. This is my favorite color by number that I own. And I did this little page of Belle. She is so cute. I love the color palettes in this book. They're so muted and just beautiful. And again, I used my Guangna 168 acrylic markers for this one, and very, very happy with how it came out. I also sealed this one with my acrylic medium, and for some reason in this book it seals so much better. I have no idea what the difference is, because they are both Hachette. This one is Hachette Little Heroes, and the Vitro book is also Hachette Little Heroes as well. So I don't know what it is with the paper and drying or whatever, but this one, I never have any streaking on my page. I don't know if you can see, and it's, I think I used the my matte acrylic sealer in this one, because I don't have quite as much gloss on the page. But again, really enjoyed the process on this one. Other than my Guangna, I only used my Posca. I prefer to use my Posca pen, I think it's the 1MR from memory. 1 second. PC1MR. It is this little one. This is the peach colored one, but I have this in black. And I always use this to do the outlines in these books. And I find that that is the best option for me, because I can get it to fit into the smaller lines rather than using a gel pen and then waiting for that to dry. So that way I keep it all acrylic on the page, and then seal it with the acrylic sealant as well. But very, very happy with this one. I love, so far this is 2 out of 2 of my pages that I've enjoyed doing so very much. There is no buckling, of a tiny curl on the edge of the page, but it handles the acrylic really well, even when it's watered down a little bit, because I did water down some acrylic to do the outside border of this page with paint, and no problems, it's flat as anything. So that's Petite Poupées. I have now put a tag in for another one for this month, and I can't wait. Next up is Fantasy Homes Color by Number from Sachin Sachdeva. This one is another book that I saw on Tiffany Colors channel. She gets another shout out because she was my first coloring creator that I followed, and since then I've watched all of her videos. I really just love her vibes. Hopefully that's okay, Tiffany. I'm just spreading lots of love at the moment for your channel, and you deserve it, because you're amazing, as are all of the coloring content creators that I follow. But yeah, because of Tiffany, I found Sachin Sachdeva and really love his style of color by number, and feeling like I'm doing some cozy coloring as well. So this is the page that I did in Fantasy Homes. I love this book too, because it's a small book. It's a pocket book, but a rectangle pocket size, and I really love it. So I did this one for Halloween. I have not really used my Ohuhu markers in so long, and so this month I just sat down and used my Ohuhu markers on this one, and it felt so good to be back using them. They've been sitting here, and I've been using a lot of pencil and a lot of water mediums for my pages lately. So it was just great to get back in and do some shading. And I like with this book too, even though it's black on the background, I love that it kind of colors in these little boxes and the flowers, and it looks really pretty. But yeah, I just used Ohuhu markers, and I used my white Posca pen for a little bit of highlighting. So that was that page. I thought I had done another one in here. I have done another one in here, but I think that's for November. Yep, that one is for November, so I'll save that. And yeah, as you can see, it takes the pens really well. And this was wonderful. I love this book so much, and I'm happy to have touched this book now. So that's Fantasy Homes Color by Number by Sachin Sachdeva. Next one is in my Old Faithful. This guy makes an appearance pretty much every month, and you can tell how much of a crash out month I've had based on how many of these pages I've done. The more I've done, the more I've struggled this month. So I've got a couple this month. So this is the 100 Quest Color by Number with black frames by Sun Life Drawing. Really like this book, and I have done a bunch already. I'm pretty much working from the front, and These are my pages. I always use Crayola Super Tips for this one. And yeah, I enjoyed doing this castle. I love the color palette. It was really beautiful. Again, I'm not going to say it on every page. They're all, I believe, let me just make sure that I'm not telling fibs. Yeah, they're all Crayola Super Tips for this one. I didn't love this page. I mean, it turned out nice. Like, there's no problem with it. But yeah, some of the pages don't really feel super crisp and easy to decipher what you've colored. But this, you can definitely see what it is. It's just not one of my favorites. I feel like the square pixels are usually the harder ones to tell what the illustration is, but that was that one. And then I did a little koala. I loved when he popped up. I thought, oh, this is so cute, because this book has no solutions in it. So I have found a video that has all the solutions in it, and I only use that when I'm specifically trying to see if it has a themed page in here that I'm looking for. But otherwise, I just go for it and see what comes up. Don't like this color palette at all, except for him. He's cute. But I don't enjoy the greens and the yellows and the limes together. While these are very Aussie colors, I don't like it. It's not very appealing to me. And while I was coloring, I started off and he was where I colored first and he popped out. I loved it. But yeah, once I got to the outside, it was just like, oh, come on. I just want to get this finished now. I've noticed bits where I've missed coloring spots and things like that. I just didn't care. I just wanted to get it finished by that point. Now, this one is a horsey, which is super cute. I like the color palette in this one. And I also really like the hexagonal pixels as well. They usually turn out to be quite a nice illustration that you can tell what it is. Then I did a penguin page, which is so cute. Don't love the color palette here either, but it's because I'm still using that peach color that I mentioned before that I don't love. It's slightly off what I'm really needing to use, but that's okay. I love circle pixels because it gives a more rounded effect for the picture too, which I really like. And the next one is one I've started for this month, so I won't show you that one yet. That's 100 Quest Color by Number by Sun Life Drawing. And now my last book is a new color by number book that I bought. I wanted to get a couple more of these type, so I've expanded my color by number collection. I really like these books because they're super thick. 100 pictures, obviously. This one though is by, I think, Pixel Colorist. Yeah, so this one is by Pixel Colorist. I see ads for this brand popping up all the time on my Facebook and love all the pictures that I've seen. So yeah, I really wanted to get this, and I got one that has the white background because they also have a book with black backgrounds, and for me, I prefer the white. It just is less buckling, it seems, or curling. I don't know, I'm not sure. It's fine in my such and such diva books, but I find these big books, I really don't like it with the black. So this is this one. Again, it sort of shuffles through circle, square, diamond shapes. I like how it's got the thicker border around the pixels, and then my markers tend not to bleed as much. So in this book, I got a set of Aldi markers that my kids bought me. They're alcohol markers, and I enjoy using those for this one. And my page, I've done a few pages in this one already, but the majority of them are for this month. So they'll go in my November pages. I completed this one, alcohol marker. I have just cut a sleeve out of my folder to cover this because it obviously bleeds through, and I find that I had some bleed sheets behind it, which I always leave behind my alcohol marker colorings, and there was a lot of yellowing even on the page. I put one on the front and one on the back to sandwich the page, and very quickly there was a lot of yellowing going on the bleed page. So I didn't want that to transfer into my other uncolored pages. So instead of leaving bleed sheets right throughout the whole book and making my book twice as thick, I've just covered them with these plastic sleeves. I've just cut them out of one of my folders and just trimmed them up so that they could go on upside down, and that way I can have back-to-back pages. As you just saw, I have another one right behind it, and there's no transfer on that one. But I really like the color palette on this page. It was simple, it was only a few colors, but it turned out really effective. I love the silhouette of the scarecrow. I just kind of thought it was spooky without being like full on spooky, and just enough to sort of finish off the month of October for me. So yeah, that was 100 color by number mysteries by Pixel Colorist. And that is now all of my books for October, all of my completed pages done. Yeah, there wasn't a real lot today, but I'm hoping this month will be better. I think I'm pretty much on track for a pretty good month for November coloring wise. So I look forward to doing the recap next month. I will try and get my videos out a little bit earlier. I just find that at the end of each month, I'm kind of trying to finish off any whips, or, you know, collate all my info to get ready for my video, and then it's already into the next month, and then I haven't filmed, and I need time when the kids aren't at home to film and all that sort of stuff. So I am thinking of moving my filming setup into one of my rooms that I can, you know, close the door and be a bit more quiet. The studio that I've got set up here is sort of a bit more out in the open, so there is a lot of background noise if I try to film when everybody's at home. So I know we've got the noise from my birds at the moment, but I'm not having, you know, disturbances or anything like that while I'm here chatting with you guys. So yeah, anyway, that is it from me for this one, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hopefully you enjoyed this little completed pages video, and I will be coming back shortly with a couple more videos I have in the pipeline. I'm really going to be heavy focused into my coloring for the next couple of months, just to get through the next 2 months in particular. As I always say, anyone wants to buddy color, just reach out. Otherwise, I am looking forward to seeing what all of you guys have been up to and all of your completed pages for November. Okay, so that is everything. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I appreciate you so very, very much as always. And I hope you have the most colorful day, and I'll see you all on the next one. Lots of love. Bye.